How's the week been? Obviously, what's happened with Jamie? You know, he spoke really sort of just openly with us about everything that he's sort of doing. And then George Furlow was saying he kind of shown really strong leadership to just be his usual self, do his usual thing with everything else he's got going on. I mean, how's it been for, I suppose, getting around him, but also him being him as well?
Yeah, Jamie's been incredible. I remember talking to him a few weeks before coming into camp, and he was talking about the captaincy being offered to him, and he said he wasn't sure whether he was going to take it up with things going on with his mum. And having known Jane since I was 16, 17, coming through the age groups with him, I said, mate, just flip it and go, you tell her that you're not doing it, and how upset and disappointed and gutted she'd be if you didn't do it. And you've got enough support around you in terms of the senior group to help you with it, and you're the best bloke for it, so let's crack on and do it. And I'm pleased that he did, and it has been tough since we found out about Jane, but he's shown huge strength and vulnerability, which is great for the whole group, especially the youngsters, to sort of see that. But he's very much, look, I want to come up here, get the job done, and he's dealt with it incredibly well.
Before, when Jay took over, he talked about reconnecting with the fans and just being open in that way. With everything that's happened in the last 10 days, he's already lived that, hasn't he?
Yeah, that was always a big thing for him to come. He's always been a great character. I've spoken to lots of you about him and his character and how much you lot are enjoying his conferences and his engagement with you lot, and he's just shown even more so how passionate he is about that. And yeah, we just hope we can finish it off with a win up here.
With this game, obviously 2 from 2 and building, the guys have sort of said, did you feel like, quietly, there's a big performance coming from this team at some point?
Who said that? Name them. Name and shame. Ben L.
Quietly.
Okay. Well, he whispered it.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're happy with the foundations that we've put in place in the last 2 games, and obviously there was a bit of work done before that as well, but we're not satisfied. We're happy, but we're not satisfied with where we want to go, what we want to achieve, and this is the next step on that, and to test ourselves against an unbelievable Scottish side led by Finn Russell is a big game for us, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough one, but we're really looking forward to pushing it and seeing if we can take it to the next level now. Oh, did I say I had any? I do enjoy coming up here. There's been probably some worse memories than favourites, although a highlight was probably the throw-in that I did a couple of years back when the rest of the pack bottled it, when Cow and Dickie got yellow carded, and then we were in a huddle. We were like, right, well, who's throwing it in then? And no, everyone sort of like hid and went, right, give me the bloody ball, I'll throw it in. And then that went tits up. But I suppose my first memory was being a travelling reserve under Stuart Lancaster's first reign. Remember the Charlie Hodgson? We won from a Charlie Hodgson charge down, yeah. And ever since, the fixture's been as tight. What is it, I read somewhere it's less than 7 points this fixture's always been decided by for the last 10, 12 years or something. And they're always tough battles, especially at the breakdown. Both sides throw a lot of numbers into the breakdowns, and it's that sort of war of attrition in that area.
It was quite fiery games on the field. Like, is there a bit of niggle and spice?
Yeah, definitely. There seems to be, more than any other nation. Are there any Scottish people in the room? More than any other nation, there seems to be a little bit more spite. Even though I'm pretty sure, when was the last battle between England and Scotland? I'm sure it was like ages ago, that one. Anyway, the Ryan Wilson sort of tunnel bust up sums it up nicely in terms of peak spikiness, and that's just what you've come to expect between these fixtures. It would just be nice to be on the winning end of it for once, because it's been so long since we have. Obviously we had that 2020, but the continued dominance from Scotland over us has been a long time now.
Because of that, is there a different feat? Because I guess in your early days, you didn't lose to Scotland. Like, it was the expectation was home and away you largely did win. But the last 6 years they've won 4, I think, and there's been a draw. So is there a different feeling this time that they are actually the bookies' favourites, and it would be a massive result if you were to win something different from the start?
Yeah, from the start, yeah, like you said, hadn't lost it, and then that 2018 game when the tide started to turn, it was like, okay, and then the players that came through, that have come through in the Scottish side, you go, hang on a minute, they've got some world-class operators now. And it does shift the mindset slightly, coming in as underdogs with it, but we just have to focus on the key areas we've identified that we're strong at, and try and look at the opportunities that we can get and create against an unbelievable Scottish side.
Joe, a few years back, Ben Teo said the history of how Cup was irrelevant, and maybe that's because he was an outsider.
Because he was born and bred in where? Excellent, yeah.
But I mean, what's your perspective on that? I mean, it's like you said, the history is I don't know. Is it something that still stirs passion? Or
Stirs passion in me, mate. That Calcutta Cup, that cup. I remember growing up watching the Five Nations and the back end I had, and the Six Nations, and how it was celebrated winning that cup, and how much that one game meant. And I know people always talk about how that one game, often they say that one game that means to Scotland, but I watched that and you could see from the England teams that would win that cup how much it meant to them to actually lift that cup as that individual trophy, that fixture win. And seeing some of the stuff over the last few years without that cup, with Finn and Greg Laidlaw, that video of them singing with their shirts off and with the cup, and which is great and I love it, but I'm like, I wish I could be doing that rather than watching it. Or that famous Finn Russell photo from a year or two back when he's got his Spider-Man hands up and he's loving it. That stirs passion in me to go, I want that cup, and I know a number of the other boys in the team want that cup back as well.
You said twice that Scotland are unbelievable. You care to expand on that? What makes them unbelievable?
The biggest is Finn and what he can do on a rugby pitch, and how much I spoke with you, Nick, the other day, didn't I, about how much I enjoy watching him on the pitch, and I've got to kind of not do that if I get on tomorrow. I'm not here to just spectate with it. I've got to try and disrupt you somehow. And his leadership and his strength as a rugby player seems to have been infectious to the rest of the squad, and it's a bit more chest out from the rest of the team, and they're full of confidence, and that's been a positive thing for them. So that's what I meant by unbelievable. Probably the wrong choice of word, because it is believable.
You said in Marseille before the final,
Christ, yep.
creating maybe last memories for some of you, and yet you're still coming back for more. You are, and Danny Kerr and George. I mean,
Is that a backhanded compliment? It's not even a compliment. No, it's just you're old.
well, I am old.
Oh no, right. Okay, we're old. Yep.
But
About creating memories.
and also about why you, despite all the things you've been through, you're still coming back for more. Why do you want to put yourselves through it again and again and again? What is the drive and desire? Because crikey, you put your body on the line enough times, haven't you? Some might think.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm trying not to read between the lines that you're saying that I should pack it in.
I'm not
No, that's good. That's okay. Thank you.
I don't know where it comes from, because
It's almost. Don't take my words out of context. It's almost like an addiction. Of I want to be part of a winning England team creating new stories, creating new memories. And I didn't think, and I thought the World Cup was going to be my last opportunity at that. And when Steve rang me to say, "Oh, are you still hungry?" Well, I was like, "Well, I'm always hungry, mate. But I mean, are you still hungry? Have you got the desire to still crack on? Because I need to blood some new players in this squad and move into the next cycle. But we also need some guys around to sort of help with that. And if you're passionate enough to do that, can you do it?" And I was like, "I'll ask my wife first." But for me, yeah, it's that sort of addiction that I want to be part of a winning England team and helping those young boys come through. So that's why I keep coming back.
Danny, 16 years at England level, you've played with him a long time. And yet here he is, he's nearly 100 caps, playing at scrum half. I mean, is he the same in that regard? But
Oh, definitely. Even more so because he's actually happy and physically in a good shape to still be doing what he's doing, and it's credit to him the way he's looked after himself. And you know, I'm just so pleased that I get to do it with a couple of old boys still.
Joe, is scrummaging in a weird way addictive as well?
Is it weird?
No, in a weird.
Yes, it is weird.
Well,
yeah, it's weird.
What's it like in a test match scrum? Because obviously there's not many people who have done what you do.
Oh, it's fantastic. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in a test match. You've seen what I'm like when I'm on the wing up against Cheslin, so I'm much more suited to being in those tight, nitty-gritty pressure cooker of a scrum. And yeah, it's my favourite place to be because it's just that one moment that you've got to get right. And I also don't want it to make it a thing where there's constant resets. I know that, you know what, but you just want boys to be there to actually scrummage, not mess around with trying to get this and get that. Just get in there, get to the contest, and then see who can push each other the hardest. Is Tim, you're creeping in, aren't you, Tim? Yeah. You can see it. Their eyes are starting to wander like, "Oh, you're putting pressure on me here."
Is it physical pressure, you know, on the spine and all that sort of thing? Is that?
I think the best way to describe what it could, like, how hard it is. Have you ever seen Dan Cole just walking around, and like how stiff he is moving? He did an example the other day of trying to defending a pick and go, and he was like, "Right, guys, we need the key thing," and it was like, we need to get low and get on one knee and have your hands up like this, and the speed at which he was going down to do it, and then it was the speed of them in going right, coming up, because we ain't quite warmed up, and that's a result from 15 plus years of scrummaging. So that's the best I can get for that, and I'm getting the impression Tim wants me to be.
thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.